Well, hello everybody, and to welcome into another emergency special edition of the Shenk and Spence show. And we have breaking news coming out of Eagles camp. Eagles have released head coach Chip Kelly. Unbelievable news! What a huge shocker that has come to this into the NFL world, especially in the midweek coming up, week 17. The Giants are coming up next week for them. Huge week for them coming up. Unbelievable. And I just had to do this podcast with you right now. I'm really fired up to talk about this. I'm really like just in shock right now. Tell me, Spence. What do you think about the this move made by Jeff Lurie so swiftly coming up in this, especially
Yeah,
for the Black Monday that everybody calls it?
yeah. I'm just completely stunned that I'm really stunned that they fired Chip Kelly at this point. Before going to next season because he's coming off of 2 10-6 years. He has Sam Bradford, and he's inked to a 5-year deal. And this is going to be his only season where he's under 10-6. And for Jeffrey Lurie to make this decision, I just didn't see it coming. I thought Chip Kelly would be with the Philadelphia Eagles at least another season to see if he could work out these new players because he's got Kiko Alonso and Byron Maxwell and Ryan Matthews and Walter Furman. He's added all these pieces. So for them to fire Chip Kelly after he was close to winning the division this year it is a completed total stunner.
Completely.
It's just stunning that it happened this year and not the following year or not in 2 years, that they cut the plug on him at this time, especially before Black Monday. I thought he was in, though, another year. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I was really shocked. I actually agree with you because I thought Lurie was going to be. This is definitely not a Jeffrey Lurie move at all. I thought that Lurie was going to give him another year, another chance at the reins, especially at the GM spot. But there was definitely some riffraff, definitely in the past week, especially Chip Kelly having his news conference saying that he has full control of the 90-man roster. I think that might have rubbed Jeffrey Lurie the wrong way. I think that Lurie saw that, and they definitely thought that Lurie definitely had to give him a nod, saying that we might go a different direction at personnel. I think Chip Kelly wasn't buying it, and I think that led to his dismissal as head coach. And I'm like shocked, but I think it's really the best decision going forward for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I know that they're going to be in huge rebuilding mode. The future is still out about Sam Bradford, where he's going to be next year, if he's going to be bring back. It all depends on who they hire. I've been hearing some rumors that a lot of fans obviously want to bring in Bill Cowher or guys like John Gruden who've coaches who have won in this league before, who are proven commodities. I don't know like where Jeffrey Lurie is going to go, especially with this next pick at head coach, but he's going to have a huge say along with Howie Roseman. And they also let go of a couple other guys in the director of personnel, of vice president, that I was reading as well. And it was unbelievable.
That was one of Chip's guys, Ed Magnowitz.
Right. Now it's like when they're going forward now they have all of Chip Kelly's personnel players that he's picked from 1 year ago. And a lot of people now on the flip side of things, a lot of people are saying, why are these guys doing? Like, why are you firing Chip Kelly? He hasn't really proven it so far. I mean, I know he has one bad year, but why not give him, an extra opportunity to let this play out? And some Eagles fans that I've been talking to, it seems like it's unfair to fire Chip Kelly on such notice that you're not giving him Chip Kelly a couple years opportunity to really flourish in his up-tempo, no huddle offense. And
the players that Chip Kelly brought into the system, Sam Bradford is slow. He can't move very quickly. And at Oregon, Chip Kelly always had a read option quarterback, whether it was Marcus Mariota or Deshaun Thomas or or Brian Bennett even, who transferred out of Oregon to southeastern Louisiana. He always brought in speedsters. Like right now, even Mark Herzlich, the coach of Oregon, has Vernon Adams Jr. I don't know if you watched Oregon play, but they always have very athletic and fast quarterbacks that are read option type guys. And Sam Bradford's the complete opposite. He has a torn ACL. When he runs like a deer in the headlights. He runs like a guy that literally he slogs along when he runs outside the pocket. So Sam Bradford did not fit that scheme at all. Deshaun Jackson fit the scheme to a T. LaShawn McCoy was like LaMichael James at Oregon. LaShawn McCoy can run to the outside, can break off 60 to 80-yard runs, was in tip-top physical condition, and was just a stud for the Eagles. Yeah. And as a Giants fan, I mean, it was nervous watching LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, because you could get beat. Or even when Michael Vick was the quarterback, he could take it 40 yards running the ball. They had so many playmakers that could just take it to the house on any play. And Chip Kelly utilized that offense very well. In 2000, when he had all those players in peace, Shenko, the first 2 years of his system, that Eagles offense was very dynamic, especially in between the 30-yard lines. They can move the ball at will, and just the personnel decisions to deplete the roster just didn't make any sense at all. And that wasn't coaching. That was just him as a general manager.
And now coach that's now they're going to have into a rebuilding situation, especially coming in. They're going to have to start from scratch, and because you got rid of key components you can actually make a playoff run with, especially with guys like Deshaun McCoy, who's now in a NFC East champion Washington Redskins uniform. You have LaShawn McCoy. You let LaShawn McCoy go for basically nothing, and then you went to get off this guy. You let Jeremy Maclin go, and you bring in a Kiko Alonso sign and trade, and he obviously is a guy who's very small. He can't tackle at all, and now you're just left with a depleted roster. And I think the Eagles right now are in complete rebuilding mode now. You're going to have to bring in a guy who's going to be okay with taking Chip Kelly's guys who he's picked in the past year, and he's going to have to run with it for a year or two and possibly trade some guys, be able to bring in some quality talent, and to keep the tone of the team very up to tempo, especially with a new guy coming in now. And I know a lot of these players are very disappointed in this year about how they've been playing. And now a new coach is going to come in. It's like now where do we go now as a group going forward? And it's going to be even longer now for them to actually make a consistent title run, especially in these next years coming up. And Eagles fans are very passionate for what they love. And I thought what you were saying earlier, like they were so close to getting over the hump, even with Andy Reid's guys. And then Kelly comes in. He thinks this hot guy. He's got a hot personality. It's his way or the highway. And he just thought that, oh, it's me. It's definitely my system. Any type of player can run it, and he's proven it this year that it's his players that has shunned him. And talent, you need talent to win in this league, and especially going forward. I think Chip Kelly is a good coach. But for him to make the personnel decisions at the NFL level, he is very poor at making those decisions. I think he's a better talent, evaluating talent at the collegiate level. And I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to college to coach, because I think he's perfect for the college ranks. And, I think Jeffrey Lurie just wanted to go a different direction. And for that organization, I'm very happy with them for making that decision, because we're not making any type of run any type of soon, especially with these Chip Kelly players that he's picked over the past year.
Well, you look at the jobs in college football, and Charlie Strong is going to stay at Texas another year. At USC, they just hired Clay Helton to be the coach there, and Kirby Smart at Georgia was hired from Alabama to go coach at Georgia. So unless Gus Malzahn loses to Memphis and the Auburn job comes open, which Chip Kelly would fit really well at Auburn, with the style that they had with Cam Newton and Nick Marshall. But I see Chip Kelly going to Tennessee because Tennessee's a franchise that hasn't had much success other than Jeff Fisher and Steve McNair for a couple of seasons there in the early 2000s. And he'd get Marcus Mariota, his golden boy quarterback. I think that maybe Chip Kelly was trying to sell the farm when he brought in guys when he traded for Sam Bradford. I honestly thought that Sam Bradford was just going to be a quarterback that they were going to sell for Marcus Mariota. And I still think Chip Kelly is a very good NFL coach. I mean, I still think he's a great coach in general. I mean, he revolutionized football. You look at all college teams now, and all of them are running up-tempo offenses. And a lot of even NFL teams are running no-huddle offenses. So Chip Kelly has that advantage. Where I think he has a disadvantage is that he treats professional players in a conduct that they're not used to. He makes them wear wristbands to go to sleep. He makes them drink smoothies. He treats them as if they're pawns in an army, and he doesn't give individual players their respect. He doesn't make friendships. He's kind of like a robotic in that way. And it could be effective when you have 108 college kids, but when you're running an NFL franchise, you need to be personal on some level with your ownership, with your players. And Chip Kelly just had a disconnect in that capacity. He was unable to work with Howie Roseman as a general manager. And if Chip Kelly can just coach football, I think he would be successful. Another problem with Chip Kelly is that sometimes during the course of these games, it would have been effective, Shenko, if he took his foot off of the gas. When you're winning the football game, take the air out of the ball, snap it with 5 seconds left on the play clock, and learn to adapt. And Chip Kelly just does not admit his mistakes. He was way too prideful. He took away the general manager from Howie Roseman, and he acted pretty much like an arrogant guy. And it could work in Tennessee, but the arrogance wore off in Philadelphia. And I do think he's a great football coach. If he would check his ego at the door, the guy will be a complete stud.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I watched Chip Kelly, as you said, in his press conference. He's so arrogant, especially he says that he puts his guys in players and make the plays. I think we're a good football team. We're just not making the plays, and we have the
execution.
And he's saying that. He's just saying that. I don't think he believes any of that. I think he's just sweeping stuff under the rug. I don't think. I think he just believes his own system is going to work, and they say they're disappointed. And one of those things that Chip Kelly, I think he's just trying to please the media, and I just don't think he was a very good fit, especially in the Eagles town. They're starving for a championship. They're definitely looking for a really deep playoff run, and Chip Kelly has stripped them of all this talent, and now they don't know where to go from this moment forward. And it's like now I'm going to turn it over to you, Spence, and I'm just curious now, like what your take on this is. Where do the Eagles go from here now? Like where do they look for a new head coach or to fit this scheme that Chip Kelly's team? Do you just start all over from scratch and you just start building his team from the ground up, or where this team goes from now on? It's like kind of like starting all over again.
Matt, as Giants fans here on the show, I for one am ecstatic that Chip Kelly is gone because he owns us. Chip Kelly, Nick Foles tore us apart 27-0 last year. Victor Cruz getting hurt. Tom Coughlin could not figure out how to stop Chip Kelly. Even last year with Mark freaking Sanchez, they were buried last year. They came into the Meadowlands and beat the drums off of the Giants. I mean, I think Chip Kelly was 5-1 against them. Chip Kelly is literally like a mogul. He's a guy that literally has no social life. He eats, sleeps, and breathes football. He's not married, has no girlfriend, doesn't go out or talk to his family at all. He's a mad scientist, and the dude is horrifying. Okay, he's authentic, he is brash, and he's egotistical, and the guy is an innovator. And I do think that Chip Kelly is going to have success like he's had his whole career, but I think the media drove him down in Philadelphia. And I think that Andy Reid, his ability to get along with players that might go out and enjoy themselves. Like Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy are known to go to Atlantic City and have drinks and go to the casinos and stay out late. And if it's a Tuesday, they might not practice as hard. Those are the knocks on those guys. And Chip Kelly did not draft those guys. Right. So here in the Philadelphia market, Andy Reid and the 10-6 year that they first started off with, it set expectations so high. So if Chip Kelly were to go to a small market like Nashville, where freaking Ken Wisenhunt could get 3 years and Mike Mularkey, in Tennessee, there's no pressure at all. They would just be happy to be relevant. You know what I'm saying, Shenko? Because no one is asking for the Tennessee Titans to be on Sunday night or to be on primetime. Nobody. Right. But Chip Kelly can put butts in the seats there. It's a good decision to try to go to the AFC South, the worst division in all football, which is a dumpster fire.
And to wrap up, yeah, absolutely.
And I do for the Eagles though. Yeah. So Shenko, if Chip Kelly, he really didn't have like any future players to bank on. Like, say that the Eagles got Marcus Mariota last year. If the Eagles got Mariota in a trade, then I think Chip Kelly would actually be with the Eagles for 4 to 5 more years because they would have to groom Mariota. So then Eagles fans, even if they went 6-10, they'd still be excited, say, we got our franchise guy. We're going to ride with Chip Kelly. He had him here at Oregon. But there's nothing to look forward to. They have all old dudes on their roster. Sam Bradford, Kiko Alonso, DeMeco Ryans. DeMarco Murray's contract was a complete and total bust. Well, so I think the Eagles need to bring in maybe a defensive-minded coach, maybe a conservative coach that plays old-school football and not like a risky college coach with no experience that runs a crazy offensive system.
And now, like to bring it all together, I think that releasing Chip Kelly was a great decision for them going forward. I think Chip Kelly has reached the peak, especially with the his players, and he's definitely he gets A+ in my book for destroying the entire roster for the Eagles to actually try to make a title run.
I think Chip Kelly's going to be successful in the NFL, Shenko. I think
absolutely. I just think that
could be like a Bill Belichick. The Eagles could come to regret this decision.
Yeah, they could, but I think this is the best decision for them going forward. I think if some things were to play out, like if he wasn't the personnel guy, who knows if the relationship could have worked out with McCoy or Deshaun Jackson or guys like Macklin to keep them around. You don't know what could have happened, but there's one more last point before we leave today, guys, and I wanted to
it was almost like Chip Kelly won it out. I mean, he literally did everything, Shenko, to assure himself that he would leave. I mean, it's almost hysterical, the moves that he made. I mean, he got a quarterback that's injured and can't throw the ball very far at all in Sam Bradford. He got rid of Deshaun, Jeremy Macklin, and Shady McCoy. I mean, it literally is like he wanted to leave town. It's just kind of unbelievable looking back at how he decimated the team from a general manager standpoint.
Right, from a huge perspective, what you're saying. And this is a really big point that really was a red flag. And now that all the pieces are coming together, that Jeffrey Lurie definitely did not want to keep him around. I mean, you could tell Jason Peters, there was definitely a cancerous mood in the locker room after seeing him, especially taking himself out of the game on Saturday, this past Saturday against the Redskins, a game for the division. You went out and you're in, and you could just tell by the look of him just not wanting to get on the plate on the field of play. He definitely wanted to escape that spotlight. There's definitely something going through Jason Peters' head saying that this system is not working out for me. I don't believe in Chip Kelly. These guys around me don't believe in Chip Kelly. There's no talent for me to work with. What's the point of me being on this squad that I'm on right now? And especially with a declining talent like Jason Peters, I think that his time has passed, and I think he wants to be able to be on a winning culture. And you could just definitely see from one of the best players that the Eagles do have, and it's their left tackle and Jason Peters. And now that resonates into a locker room. And that was probably one of the first signs that you could see that
this team has given up on Chip Kelly. These guys are they're just playing like they don't want to play anymore. Especially the guys with Maxwell getting hurt, he couldn't even play with injury. Guys who were on the field not playing very well with I'm trying to think of the guys who are not very good.
Well, Kiko Alonso's not playing well. Byron Maxwell was getting hurt.
Thurman is not very good. Like guys who are trying to make it in this league, and they're not.
But DeMarco Murray, like literally, like is having discussions with the owner, and he's having discussions with the owner behind Coach Kelly's back. They lost to the Lions and Tampa Bay in ways that no NFL team loses to Jameis Winston and Matt Stafford and those football teams. I mean, Detroit is a 5-11 team, and they obliterated the Eagles like they were a high school team. And then you knew that it was literally effort, and he was kind of losing the team because they quit in those football games. And Jason Peters wasn't hurt, but he voluntarily took himself out of the game because he's probably like, screw it, I hate this guy, Chip Kelly, and I'm not going to play for him anymore. And literally, Jeffrey Lurie saw no future, but I think that just the fan base with the Eagles was very hard on Chip Kelly during his tenure here, and it's just, I still think Chip Kelly is an exceptional football coach. Like I do think he's gonna do wonders in the NFL. He just really made some critical rookie mistakes as a general manager, and he literally just stacked his plate too high with things to accomplish. Meaning that if he would have simply just coached football and just, laid low and didn't try to be the general manager, I think he would have bought himself at least 2 to 3 more years here and would have had a lot more success. But he tried to control the whole farm like Bill Belichick when he didn't accomplish anything. But that doesn't mean that I don't think Chip Kelly's a great coach, and he should go to the Titans immediately. And I think the Titans are going to get a really good football coach. And as a Giants fan, Chip Kelly is a guy like a mad scientist. And if the Eagles bring in like a Lovie Smith or Greg Schiano type guy who's a conventional football coach, it's going to be so much easier to prepare for the Eagles offense.
Yeah, and I agree. And the Eagles they're looking for a new head coach now, and we'll see what happens going forward with them. And we obviously wish them the best, aka not really because we're Giants fans, but looking forward to
it's great news, man. He's gone. We
survived
the Chip Kelly era.
The Chip Kelly era is officially over, and we are not over.
Schiano to Philly, baby. Let's go.
Exactly. And, Chip Kelly might be gone, but the Shenk and Spence show will never die. And we'll always be here bringing it to you live every day.
Yeah, man. What a crazy freaking day. We thought we were done today, but this just blew my mind. And it's a great day to be a Giants fan. That dude owned us. It was a nightmare to have to prepare for him. He's a mad scientist. He will outwork any coach in the NFL. He has no life but football. It's beautiful to see him gone in the division, And I wouldn't be opposed to Chip Kelly being an offensive coordinator for the Giants if he would simply just be a little bit more modest. I really do believe that, Shenko. Chip to the Giants as a coordinator, man.
Yeah, we'll see on our next show, Spence. We'll keep that thought.
We have a lot to talk about. Chip and Tom Coughlin next year.
Yeah, for next year and next show, and we're gonna ring in the new year with some new positivity and some in the new year, and hopefully we'll see a little sneak peek of our New York Giants be able to get us a new football coach, and we'll bring that in our next episode of the Shenk and Spence show.
No, Tommy's staying here,
and we're staying right here, and I'm Shenk. We got Spence, and so long, guys. We'll see you guys next time.